Hello friends, and welcome to Homeopathy Around the World. It's been a while since we last met, but I promise you it's worth all the wait, and as it is the grand finale of a series, Homeopathy Around the World. Today we are very privileged because we are going to meet one of the greatest living masters of homeopathy, Professor George Vithoulkas. With over 60 years of experience, he has taught over 20,000 students across 97 countries. He has authored several books, and they are now considered as the reference, the modern reference for classical homeopathy. He has been honored in various countries for his contributions, and he has been awarded the Right Livelihood Award. 30 years ago, he founded the International Academy of Classical Homeopathy, and this was dedicated to training the doctors, medical professionals and students and health practitioners to the highest standards of homeopathy. But beyond these words and accolades, Professor Vithoulkas, he is a visionary, he is a pioneer who re-established homeopathy, Hahnemannian homeopathy, in the 20th century. And he still continues to do so he has been setting scientific guidelines and standards for homeopathy. He made sure that the world took notice. So we are today extremely privileged that we are standing here in International Academy of Classical Homeopathy in Greece, Alonissos, and we are going to have a conversation with Professor Vithoulkas. So please join me and let's go and let's have a chat with him. Professor Vithoulkas, thank you once again for being with us. How do you explain the mechanism of homeopathy to someone who is a person who is very new to it and does not understand medical or technical terms?
Well, this is an old question of almost everyone who comes first in homeopathy. And I have heard all this long time ago. I have thought what is the best answer. And I would say that our main law of healing in homeopathy, it is said to be similia similibus curentur. Likes are cured by likes. So I thought that the best way to explain a system that at this moment have a lot of unanswered questions, and everybody would be interested. How is that such small medicine, such small, actually medicine is not medicine, is rather small quanta of energy. It affects the human body. And we say in homeopathy that the remedy which can produce on human bodies symptoms will cure these symptoms in any ill person, a sick person. Now, how this happens is not easy to understand or to comprehend. But I have a paradigm, and it is with two guitars. If you have two guitars and you strike one string, La, we see that the La in the other guitar is vibrating, which means this is a law of nature in synchronization. And this is, I believe, that in a coarse manner, this is the explanation for the action of the homeopathic remedy. Because there comes a remedy which has similar symptoms and is affecting the organism, not on the physical level, not on the level of the immune system or any organ, but on the energy level of the organism. And this is what I can say as an explanation.
Practical and beautiful explanation. It will be useful for many people to explain it to their patients.
It is the same explanation when somebody who is listening to music and suddenly there is some uplifting of the organism and feeling elated and feeling going into clouds because of this synchronization between music and the condition of the mental emotional organism.
You are known to be extremely good, one of the best teachers, and many are privileged to study with you as your students. So it comes to my mind, when you are teaching students of homeopathy, as an educator, what is the most important quality that you try to cultivate in your students beyond just the technical skill? So what are those important qualities that you would, beyond just these technical terms, and what would be helpful for the students to become a very good practitioner?
Reading the books and getting all the information, I was in a state of excitation, and whoever was coming near me will hear about this, and I will turn them into homeopathic either student or patient. So what I think made this change on the persons was my enthusiasm for homeopathy. And in the process, I felt that this enthusiasm which I had and the kind of explanations I was giving to the doctors or to patients were alive by enthusiasm. And this enthusiasm I could see eventually in the students. And I felt that the best thing I could do was not to teach whatever I had to teach, but to excite their enthusiasm.
Okay.
And how could I do that? Not only by explaining or talking, but mostly by proving what I was saying in showing to them the effect of homeopathy. That means almost everyone who was approaching me, they had a problem either themselves or a member of the family, etc. And then they will bring it along and I will treat, and then the enthusiasm to many of them became an urge to learn homeopathy. And even medical doctors. In the beginning, actually, I was teaching only medical doctors in my country. But the idea was that they can detach from what they knew so far and allow the knowledge to come in and to accept and start studying themselves. And this is what I felt it was the best I could do for them.
You know, this a small word, enthusiasm, and I feel it comes only if you're passionate about something. Yes. And this passion that it's very visible when a passionate teacher teaches the subject. The students, it is a transfer, or maybe I should say again, there's a synchronization happens there also. And there is a transference of knowledge, and it inspires the students also. So a passionate and enthusiastic teacher is the one who creates students who are as passionate and enthusiastic. And one thing, Professor, you did tell me that you were always available for your students. And that's amazing, because this being able to reach you, and they were able to check with you their queries or their cases. This was something, again, that comes from
you. Have to know something about me and my character and my involvement with homeopathy. What is, I felt that all my life is dedicated to homeopathy, yes. Teaching doctors and at the same time curing people. You see, this is for me my joy. Is something that gives me satisfaction, gives me joy to see people getting out of depression, getting out of panic attacks, getting out of anxieties, fears, etc., and out of pains, and again coming back to enjoying life and being happy. So this whole syndrome, is connected with my dedication for homeopathy.
I did listen to you somewhere, Professor, when somebody asked you, what does homeopathy mean to you? And you just said, it is my life. Yes, that speaks it all, and I see something here. I've devoted my life to homeopathy, yeah. So no wonder.
These are students who have written this, yes. Not me.
Yes, yes, I'm sure, yes. I know they have, with all their love, they keep giving you these yes. tokens. I also have been thinking about, there's one question that keeps coming to me again and again, and we search for answers ourselves. But I was waiting to ask you someday this question, and it's something that, because it comes to most of the people. We are living in a world where there's all the time, whenever some health problem comes up, the first line of treatment for many in the public is allopathic way of going for treatment. So a question used to always come to me is that, do you believe that mainstream medicine and homeopathy, can they coexist?
I believe that medicine is not going towards the right direction, the conventional medicine. I believe changes will take place and will not be late, will come soon. And then at the same time, homeopathy is going to develop, and some secrets of homeopathy which are still not appearing will appear, and homeopathy will evolve. And so by the two systems evolving, I believe there is a time when there is going to be a kind of osmosis between the two, and the best from allopathic medicine and the best for homeopathy will come together to help humanity. This is what I believe.
This is something very big that you have just shared just now, and it's we might say it's the ideal state that, you know, ideal state where both the systems take the best out of both systems, and if they are able to coexist, and each one has its own place, then there's no fight among them then.
Yes, at this moment, of course, it's natural because to have differences, because we treat the energy body, and they treat the flesh body, the physical body. I believe we'll recognize soon the importance of homeopathy, and some kinds of regulations will take place. And actually, I believe there is going to be a period where authorities, medical and governmental, will recognize the contribution of homeopathy. And what's going to happen is that people, whatever happens to them concerning their health, will address first and trying to find a homeopath to address their problem. And if that fails, then they may go further to allopathic medicine, where now is the opposite.
That's right.
First, they go to allopathic medicine, and if they fail, they turn to homeopathy. But the big expansion of homeopathy, the great diffusion of homeopathy in the world will be when we reach that point where the whole population will seek first treatment from homeopathy. Of course, there are discussions about this matter, and I simplify things as I say it, but in an interview I think it's very difficult to give the whole range of arguments. But more or less this is what I'm thinking about.
This is very encouraging to hear, very encouraging, because we all understand that, the modern medicine's so-called allopathic system is usually treating singularly on one dimension most of the time, and the importance of other dimensions like mental, emotional, spiritual, apart from physical, are as much, they are quite very, very important for the existence. And that, I'm sure that understanding is trickling, and it is coming at individual levels also. So yes, yeah, it's very, very encouraging to hear from you this, yes.
Well, I have many times heard this question, says, what do you think about allopathic medicine? And I have expressed my opinion. But at the same time, I realize that there is some truth in any help that can be given by the conventional medicine, especially surgery, of course, and and also in therapeutics. But the overuse of chemical drugs at this moment is wrong. And nobody actually knows how these chemicals are working within the body. So they have what they call side effects. And they say a poison, which is the chemical, will have side effects, naturally will have side effects. They don't realize that the side effects mean another level of illness, a deeper, most probably. Because a healthy organism is one who is almost constantly joyful and have some happiness, etc. Where by these drugs, when they enter the body, they destroy that level of energy which gives us this happiness and this joy.
Yeah. And this is what we understand as health. You could be physically very fit, but your definition of health has been very different, and it has completed the whole understanding of what health means, that it is at all levels, all dimensions. So just being physically fit may not be actually healthy. It has to be at all levels. Thank you so much. But I'm sure, like with all these views, we know that you've faced criticism from time to time from your skeptics. Throughout the career, we have seen it coming from time to time. But at the same time, it would be interesting to know that whether there has been any meaningful criticism, the one that actually made you reflect on it.
Yes, a lot of criticism, of course. But I do not pay attention to small things. And when it comes to the point where somebody is seriously talking about homeopathy, I always refer to him the results that homeopathy can have, published in medical journals with peer-reviewed journals. So there are personal criticism, of course, they have done, and my enthusiasm, which I have in teaching and all that, sometimes comes out as egotism. And they accuse me for being egotistical and things like that. Not lately, but I mean in the past.
The thing is that your enthusiasm was maintained high still. That is very important, yeah? There's always an effort and there's always questions about the proving of how homeopathic medicines work, and from time to time there's so many researchers come, but something has been talked about quite often. And I want to ask you about that, whether you see any parallels between the energy of remedies and the discovery in newer discoveries in physics, like quantum theory.
Sure, there is a connection, and I believe the vital force, what we call the vital force, is a force which comes from the subatomic level. It is the cloud that surrounds the nucleus of an atom. that contains small particles, little quotas of energy, the smallest possible, but which is full of information. All this, must be millions of little quotas that carry information. And this is the level on which we work, our medicines work. They work on this level, on the subatomic level. And the problems that have come on these levels are those that are addressed by the potentized remedy. And as everybody knows, the high potencies are such that there is no possibility that there is any kind of substance, but the remedy has become from a material remedy to an energy remedy, which affects this energy level of the atomic, subatomic level. I have written an article that I submitted a few weeks ago, The Enigma of the Vital Force. And I write all my ideas about this level.
Quantum physics is one area, the possibility research into it can also be applied, can be applied to homeopathic remedies.
Yes, definitely. And quantum physics will definitely prove homeopathy, prove the existence of the vital force and what represents in the human body.
Another area which I may bring up now because we are talking of sciences, and you also wrote an article on microbiome, gut microbiome. That was a very interesting article. So I'm just wondering, should homeopaths be aware about it, or is it important for us to understand microbiome also?
Yes, this is something which I have thought a lot in conjunction with antibiotics and side effects. You see, when I see antibiotics are having such deep side effects, that means for me that there was there a group of malignant bacteria or viruses, and the antibiotics killed these bacteria, which are causing the problem. But at the same time, they are killing useful bacteria and useful viruses, which can and must exist, must continue functioning. So I gave this idea of being the microbiome is an organ, really.
Yes.
And when I researched, I found out that weighs 2-3 kilos.
Okay.
The microbiome is quite a big organ of the body, an important organ which is affected by chemical drugs and by antibiotics in general, and produces all the side effects of medicine. And so I wrote this article.
It's very interesting. It is a very interesting article. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
all these articles, it's strange because there are degrading conventional medicine, giving a bad impression about conventional medicine. But the target is not to kill the medicine, but to find the truth of what is the truth, what happens. And the population in general, the general population, is going towards more and more deeper diseases. And most probably, the chemical drugs that we use destroy quite a lot of useful bacteria and viruses, and it has to find another way. You see, it's not polemic, it's a matter of putting forward a question about the microbiome, what is happening there.
So you mean that it is meant to be a thought-provoking article?
Yes.
Yes, it's not to put anybody down, but it's a thought-provoking article. Where do you see the limits of homeopathy? Are there any conditions you feel it should not attempt to address?
There are diseases which are very difficult to manage with homeopathy, and it's good not to get involved a homeopath with such conditions. One of them is schizophrenia. It's quite difficult to treat, and especially if it is hereditary. And in general, hereditary chronic diseases are difficult to manage, and homeopathy has a limitation there.
In cases such as schizophrenia, or where we see a very deep genetic predisposition, those are the cases we have to be very careful, and we should be able to probably understand the prognosis might be more difficult in such cases. We'll keep it's like a caution in these cases. Another question is that there are many modalities of treatments are coming up, many. And some of them are like very ancient systems that are also being recognized nowadays. So do you feel there is a role of bridging Western medicines and homeopathy with other traditional treating systems, other practices also?
I think all this have a role to play, and it can be complementary to each other. As long as there are no strong chemical substances that goes into the body that could suppress whatever is the element of the person and make it, on the long run, makes it worse even. And but otherwise, I don't have like chiropractic and osteopathy, Ayurveda, all this, they have their application, their place where it are quite effective. And many times homeopathy can be completed by an osteopathic doctor or Ayurveda or whatever.
Yes. So that's why homeopathy is called complementary system many times.
Yes.
It can go along with, as long as there is no much chemical drug suppressions.
Yes.
This has to be kept in mind, yes. One of the questions which is, maybe I can tell you that it is the last concluding question for my interview today, but it's very, very important. We would like to know, how would you like to be remembered in the history of medicine?
I don't know if I will be remembered, but anyhow, I think what people may remember is the fact that I explained homeopathy and make it more available to the general people. And you see, people, I believe, will use the tools that I have produced, like the artificial intelligence program which I have and which is used by a lot of homeopaths. And there are some explanations about the levels of health, about the continuum of diseases in general. That means disease does not just jump out of nothing. Yes. They carry the stories, medical stories of their parents and their ancestors in general. So there is a continuum for each person, and this determines the length of time is going to live and what is going to suffer and from what type of disease, of chronic conditions is going to suffer somebody.
I have read it all, Professor, and these are some contributions that I don't see that they can be forgotten in any way, because they have brought a lot of understanding to how classical homeopathy should be practiced. And it's an advancement in certain cases like levels of health. I think it can be used not just by homeopaths, but this understanding can be used in all medical practices. In all medical practice. You spoke about continuum, not seeing a disease in part, and if that understanding comes to all fields, it will change the picture in a big way. Your contributions have been great, and you are one of the most loved teachers worldwide.
Thank you.
Yeah. And absolutely, I should say that it is my privilege that I could speak to you in person, Professor. Thank you so much. And this thank you is not just from me. I'm thanking you on behalf of all my colleagues who are from Singapore, and we all proudly say we are your students. And I'm thanking you on behalf of the audience of homeopathy around the world.
Thank you very much for this. I'm honored to have answered your questions, and I hope will have a good effect upon the population who is going to read it.
We are going to try our best, because your conviction and your lifelong work of homeopathy will guide many in future generation also. It's not stopping with us. And it has been such an honor to share this space with you, Professor. So I would really thank you once again. Thank you so much, Professor. Friends, as we conclude our Homeopathy Around the World series, we truly could not have asked for a better ending. We had the privilege of speaking with Professor George Vithoulkas, the legendary master himself. Through his life's work, he has transformed the journeys of thousands of practitioners and patients worldwide. We hope that through the episodes of Homeopathy Around the World, you could get a deeper understanding about the role of homeopathy, its richness, its challenges, and also about the emerging possibilities for homeopathy. Through voices of practitioners that we heard on the series, we could see how homeopathy has touched the lives of people across continents and cultures. Thank you for joining this exploration with us. May it spark curiosity, encourage dialogues, and also give a deeper appreciation for classical homeopathy and its enduring role in the future of global health. Thank you once again. And this is Neeta Kapoor signing off from Homeopathy Around the World. Goodbye.